What is a good word, everybody? Tiger727 back with a video. It's been a while. Most of the videos that I've done have been pre-recorded, and I'm not going to get into a ton of what's been going on, but life has just been crazy, running all around. But the focus of this video is the National. I'm sure most people are sick and tired of hearing about it by now, and videos galore, whatever the case may be. But this is the first opportunity I've had a chance to get a video, and first opportunity that I ever had to go to the National. So it was definitely an experience. I had a blast, and very, very, I don't want to, there's a lot there, obviously, a ton. It can be overwhelming. Fortunately, due to the amount of time that I had in a one given day, I did not feel overwhelmed. I just enjoyed walking around. The stuff to see there was impressive and crazy, and had a blast meeting some people. And to start that, the Sports Illustrated you see in the background with a very young Justin Verlander on it is from Andy over at D's Collection. First person I've ever met that is on YouTube, and he was kind enough to give me that. He was the first person we were texting all morning. Actually, for weeks, we were texting and how we're going to do stuff. And so we met up when I first got there. I drove down early on Saturday morning. It was Saturday. And I got there about 10-ish, I think. Andy was also kind enough to give me this Jimmy Dykes card. Love the color. Love the Old English D on that card. On the jersey. Just a phenomenal looking card. And also got this 84 World Champions Wendy's Coca-Cola set. I got to double check yet, Andy. I think I might have had it, but I still, either which way, greatly appreciate it. And Andy's a great guy. Had a blast. We hung around for about a half an hour together initially, and then he had to go and do some autograph signings or attend some autograph signings. Who knows? Maybe people wanted his autograph too. I don't know. So I had some time to walk around, and I was texting a few guys that I knew that were there to meet up with them at some point. And this video might be a little bit long before I forget to mention that, so I apologize, but I just want to get this all done on one video. And so I texted a few other guys, and not necessarily in this order, but Zach and Porter, I got to meet up with them briefly, and wasn't long after that, or I was talking to him about, just whatever I was seeing, and he shot me a text a little while later that they saw a box of sealed 1991 Desert Shield cards, and I wanted to see it, and just because I'd never seen a sealed box before, and the guy had $49,500 on it. I did not buy it, nor did I have any intention of buying it, as cool as that would be, but that is just an astronomical amount of money. And so then I was walking around, and I was kind of at that point, there maybe 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, and my intent to go there was, if I found something unique, I'd get it, but I would have been content walking out of there 7-8 hours later with not getting anything. It was just, that was the mode I felt, the mood, whatever. It was just content, and I would have been fine. And so then I was started digging through some dollar boxes, and I got a text from Eric over at the Card Closet, and met up with him, and then he informed me that Picker Jim S was also there, and Jim wanted to meet me, so he texted Jim, and Jim came over. So I was hanging with them, and I'm not going to go through all this whole box, but a couple weeks before the National, Eric had reached out to me and said he had a bunch of cards that were on my want list on Trading Card Database. So we met up, he gave me the box, just a couple quick things just to show you some of the neat stuff. I got this Bonds that I didn't have, Ultra Pro, nice tuxedo, Willie Mays, and either from 01 Topps Update or traded in It's Barry Bonds. And reprints of Mike Piazza. And just for the sake of time, sorry Eric, but I'm just going to show a few of these. And while I was talking to, and Andy was still off getting autographs at this point, and while I was talking to Eric and Jim, they happened to mention that they had seen James Elite Hunters, and James used to text with us a lot in our group, not so much anymore, unfortunately. So I wanted to meet Jim, or James, so they took me over to him, and I talked to him for a while, and he had great stuff that he was selling. And so yeah, met him. I think it's Eric from Nuff Said Cards. I got a chance to meet him through Eric and Jim. I know I'm forgetting somebody, and I can't think of it right now. But yeah, it was cool to see some people. It's weird. You've been watching people and texting people for years now. I think I've been on making videos now for 4 or 5 years, and so yeah, it was just neat to meet some people and get to know them a little bit better. Andy and I went and had dinner after the show, just down the road at I think it's called Shoeless Joe's. Had a good time there. It was nice just to get to know Andy and learn more about him and his family, stuff like that. So, but going back to before I had met up with Eric and Jim, I was going through the dollar boxes and quarter boxes and found some stuff I needed for my Tiger collection. Nice Riley Green rookie. Another green. And going through these dollar boxes kind of broke the seal for me. Like, okay, yep, I guess I need to buy something. And I actually bought one of these. And when I went over and saw James Elite Hunters, he happened to have one and he gave it to me. So super kind of James. So I have 2 of these now. Great looking card. Love the blue jersey with the white D. Okay, Riley's having a good year. It's been fun to watch. Another green rookie I didn't have. This one's numbered, I think. No, I thought it was. But I needed it for my Tiger collection. Jonathan Scope patch card. Used memorabilia, whatever you want to call it. There's a Willie Castro numbered to 50 that I didn't have. I think he's with the Twins now. I can't remember if he got traded or not. Porcello I didn't have. Nick Castellanos. Obviously he went to the Cubs and then the Reds, and he's been with the Phillies now for 3-4 years. Doug Fister, number to 199 that I didn't have. Heritage. Colt Keith, rated prospect I didn't have. And did I end up with 3 of these? Let me double check something here real quick. Guess I ended up with 3 of these Riley Greens. I don't know how I did that, but maybe one's a refractor or something. I'm not sure. But either which way, I guess I got 3 now. So Eric and Jim and I were walking around. Andy was still over getting some autographs. And I was looking for Desert Shield, and I found a few cards. I found a Ryan and I think a Griffey, and I wasn't looking to spend that kind of money. Not saying that they were high priced or anything like that. I just wasn't looking to spend that kind of money while I was there. And I said when I went there I wanted to get something unique, and I'm trying to put these in order the best way I got them. So walking around, and I get a text from Andy, and this was actually my 3rd to my last card that I bought. He had sent a picture to me of this Donnie Bush 1919 to 21 hand cut, and this definitely fit into my unique category. And I said he sent me a text, and I said, well, I thought to myself, I'm not going to buy it right away. I happened to see it not long after he had sent me the text, and so obviously I went back towards the end of the show with Andy was still at the autographs, but I was texting with him, and he was trying to guide me back to where he had saw it. So Jim and I were together when I bought this. Very cool. Did not expect to get something that old while I was there. Got a good deal on it. And not that it really matters, but I didn't pay sticker for any of these. I threw an offer at everybody for everything. So we were walking around and happened to find somebody else that had some unique vintage stuff. And I had never seen these before, and I still need to do some research on them. But I happened to see this 1969 Ajman stamp of Ty Cobb. And we did a little bit of research, Jim and I and Eric, while we were sitting down. And apparently these are printed in United Emirates. So I saw the Cobb, and I'm like, well, gotta have it. So I grabbed it up, and I'm not a stamp collector, but very cool to have. And as we were standing there, and I bought this one, I happened to look over in the case. I think it might have been the same case or the next case over to the left, and this was sitting there. So then I realized, well, there's a set of these, and there's variations, because obviously the other one was pink or red, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go with pink, and I'm going to say this one's like a blue or a gray. So I was like, well, I got to have that, because then my OCD kicked in, and needed this one. So I got that, and as I was looking at that one, I saw another one, not a Cobb, and I hemmed and hawed. I went and sat down with Eric and Jim. We sat down, take a break, have some water, and eat a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? I'll be upset if I don't get it. So I went back, threw an offer at the guy, and I got the Wagner. So if I remember right, without looking at the checklist in front of me, there's six players in the set, and 4 of each one. So it might have been, maybe it was 7 players and 4 of each one. I can't remember. So yeah, that's one of the rabbit holes I went down, and be interesting to see if I can eventually get the set. At this point, I guess I'd want them all graded, just to say that I have them, but or have them all graded. But it'll be one of those long-term projects. So at that point, I was pretty much content with everything, and hadn't seen much Desert Shield. I ran into a guy when I was walking around talking about Desert Shield, and he said he had a Griffey that was his dad's, and he thought he had it, but he didn't. He thought he had it with him, but he did not. So we talked for a while, and he thought it was, unique that he found somebody that actually collects these. He said there's not many people that do. And went to another place, and we saw like 4 or 5. And I think Andy already showed the Langford that he picked up. And this guy's not a Hall of Famer, but I tend to believe at some point that he will be. And it was graded, and I looked up some ungraded ones. Granted, eBay is eBay, it is what it is. But for the price I got this, I couldn't say no. I threw an offer at the guy, and he accepted. So I got the Sosa. Love the old Sox logo. I am not a White Sox fan by any stretch of the imagination. Sorry, Zach and Porter, but I am not. But yeah, I just love this card. Great swing, great image. So yeah, got the Sosa. So after this, I was done. I'm done buying. And at this, when I bought this, Andy and Jim were with me. Andy had, and Eric was sitting down, or he had to meet up with somebody, I think. And so we're just walking around. We're going back, working our way back towards the meetup with Eric, and stopped at this table. And the original card that caught my eye for whatever reason was I forget the year, something in the 60s, Wilma Flintstone card. Never knew they existed. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And I started looking at the stuff he had, and he had some neat stuff that doesn't appeal to me. And I even told the guy, I said, this is some really, really cool stuff. I said, not stuff that appeals to me, but some great, great stuff. I remember looking at a Jimi Hendrix. I think it was graded in a 6. But I'm not a music guy. And he told me he sold a 10. don't know if it was at the show or not, but he had sold a 10 for, I think he said 20K or something like that. I was like, geez. And then something colorful caught my eye, and I saw it, and it was one of those things that was like, I have to have it. And a little side story is I took a picture and I texted it to my wife and kids. And I said, this is one of the neatest cars I've ever seen. And my wife was like, seriously, you're going to get something like that? She goes, that'd be the last thing. So I threw an offer at the guy. He's like, yep, fine. And I'm not up with the times. I'm old. So I have PayPal. And he did not. Or he did, but he didn't really want to use it. He was fine with it, but he didn't. He's like, use Venmo or something. I'm like, well, I don't have that. My wife does. But so anyway, trying to log into my PayPal, didn't work. Text my wife saying you're gonna get a code, send it to me. So she sent me the code, and then she calls me. She's like, "Are you serious? You're actually gonna buy that car?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it." And then my, I guess, thought of buyer's remorse kicked in, and I said, "You know what? I'm gonna hold off." And so I told Jim and Andy, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna back off for right now." And they're like, "What? You can't do that. We're standing here, spending a bunch of money because you said you were done. You stopped at this table. You found something, and now you're going to back out." Here we are spending however much money they spent. And then I started thinking again, if I don't get it, I'll regret it tomorrow. And so I offered the guy $10 more off. I said, give me it for this price. I'll take it right now. And he's like, okay, fine. And if you'd have told me I'd have walked out of this card show or the National with this card, I probably would have laughed in your face. Walking in the morning, and you talk about a literal rabbit hole. And I just thought this was the coolest thing. The fact that it's a 10 doesn't really matter to me. The fact that there's only 3 10s, that kind of kicked it in for me. Can't find too much about these things. They're not on Trading Card Database from the best I can find. And but I've been a Looney Tunes fan since I was a kid. I always loved them. To this day, I still watch them. Watch them with my kids, and they get good laughs out of them. But apparently these were printed in England. Pretty much I have yet to find this specific card, graded or ungraded, on eBay or any other platform that I've checked. Because now I'm going to want to get the set. At least of the Looney Tunes. I think this might be like mixed in with like Popeye cards and some other cartoons, but all I want are the Looney Tunes. I don't want the full set. And I think there's probably like 50 of these. So, lifetime project that I'll probably never finish because my OCD says they all have to be in 10s. And I don't have that kind of money to drop on a regular basis. So it's going to be one of those things that's slow but sure. I saw Speedy Gonzalez on eBay, and that's also listed at $250. So, yeah, I thought for sure I'd have buyer's remorse the next morning. I ended up staying in Chicago for 3 days for a work conference, and got back Wednesday. Here it is the following Monday, and still, no remorse. Very happy to have it, lucky to have it, fortunate to have it. Fortunate to have, even the memory with Jim and Andy being there when I bought this. That's, to me, is just as great, if not better, as the card. A million people have already said it, but the getting to be there with people that you've texted with or watched videos of for years, and you finally get to meet them, and they're there. To me, it just makes it that much more special. I'm more of a sentimental value guy than a dollar value guy anyway. So, but yeah, it was a blast. Had a great time, and it's almost 20 minutes. Sorry for the long video. Hope everybody's doing well. Talk to you later.